Hello students, in my last video we have started with the study of a population. Like we have finished the organisms and now we have moved to the population. We have seen what is a population. A group of organisms who are living together in a particular place at a given time is going to be called as a population. So in that we have seen how the population density is going to be varying. Population density is nothing but the size of the population. So when we are talking about the size of the population, there can be the increase in the population or a decrease in the population. So this increase and decrease in the population is going to be due to some of the fluctuations that are taking place due to some factors. What are those factors? Those factors were natality, mortality, immigration and immigration. So in that, natality was going to be the number of birth that are taking place in the population at a given time in a given place. And mortality was the number of death that are taking place at a given place at a given time. So that was what we studied about how the population density is fluctuating or variating. Today we are going to be moving forward in the population and studying about the growth curves. So when I am saying the growth, just now we have seen the growth can be positive or negative. Means the population size can increase or it can decrease. So this increase or decrease in the population can be plotted in the form of graph. So this graphical representation is known as the growth curve. So there are two types of growth curves in which for your study you are having the sigmoid growth curve. But I will be giving you a brief about the other growth curve, that is the exponential growth curve also. So first of all, what do you mean by the population growth curve? We measure the size of a population over the time. So when this is graphed, it forms a curve called as the population growth curve. So coming to a brief introduction, let us see. So population growth curve is something that shows the pattern of the growth of a population over a time. So over time, how the population is growing. It can be the increase or decrease. Again I am repeating, population growth, the term is here, growth is used. But this growth can be in a positive sense also and a negative sense also. That is, a growth curve is an empirical model of the evolution of a quantity over time. So quantity can increase or also decrease. These growth curves are widely used in biology for quantities such as population size or biomass, individual body height or biomass. Biomass is nothing but the weight. Values for the measured property can be plotted on the graph as a function of time. In theory, any kind of organism would take over the earth just by reproducing. So that is what I was telling you about the exponential growth. So let us see what is this. What is happening, whenever I am talking about an organism. Suppose if the organism is getting proper food, proper shelter, proper place to live and all the facilities, that organism will tend to reproduce more faster and the population goes on increasing. But practically all living organisms need some specific resources such as nutrient, proper environmental conditions to survive and reproduce. So the essential resources are not unlimited. The organisms will not get everything they want. And a population can only reach a size that match the availability of the resources in its local environment. So here what is happening? The organism is having a limit to reproduce. It cannot increase the population beyond a particular size. So that is what, based upon that, we are having two types of population growth. There are exponential growth or a J-shaped curve and sigmoid growth curve or the S-shaped curve. Let us brief about the exponential growth curve first. Remember, this you won't be asked in the exam, but if you have to understand the sigmoid growth, then herein let us first study what is the exponential growth curve also. In this type of growth form, the population grows exponentially. Exponentially, the meaning itself means rapidly, without any checks, continuously it is increasing. That is known as exponentially. And after attaining a peak value, the population may abruptly crash. Means once it has reached a maximum level, then it can be crashed. Means all the population can suddenly be disappeared. This increase in population is continued till large amount of food material exists in the habitat. Now I will give you an example. Suppose I am having goat, and this goat I am living into a grassland. I am leaving it into the grassland. The grass is there, green grass. This goat is very happy. It is going and eating all the grass. It is eating grass. It is going to be happy. It is having place to live. Nobody is there to kill it. So what will happen? It will start to reproduce. It will find its partner. It will start to reproduce. Those children will be grown up, again they will reproduce, or this one only will be start reproducing more offsprings, because what, food is there. But when food is there, these offspring or these children, when they become big, even they required food. So in this manner, that grass that is there, for how many days it is going to be coming if the population goes on increasing. So depending upon the food habitat, the population will grow in the large amount, but only till a limit, until the food material exists. After some time, due to increase in the population size, the food supply in the habitat becomes limited, which is ultimately resulting in the decrease of the population size. For example, let us take another example here. Many insect populations show explosive increase in the number during the rainy season. You all must have observed those dragonflies. Now in the rainy season or in the summer season, usually when there is sudden rain, you can find many dragonflies, small insects which are coming towards the light, which are attracted towards the light. But suddenly after that they are disappeared. So they are followed by their disappearance at the end of the season. So that is nothing but the exponential growth, you can say. The following equation is going to be giving us the J-shaped curve, that is dn by dt is equal to Rn. Herein the dn is going to be nothing but the population density at time t, that is dt. So the dn by dat represents the rate of change in the population. R is going to be the biotic potential or intrinsic rate of increase, how much an organism can reproduce, and N is the population size. So this is going to be how a J-shaped growth curve is going to be coming. So when there are going to be unlimited resources, whenever the resources, food, everything is available, the population is going on continuously increasing with time. But after some time, when they are reaching the maximum, when the limit is over, they will crash away. So that is going to be occurring only in some cases and not all, because there is going to be a limit. Only few insects are doing that, but all of them cannot collapse. And in nature, there is going to be, suppose if this type of the thing was there in nature, then even we could be not surviving. It is going to be practically impossible. Each and every organism is going to be having certain restriction to grow. because the resources are limited. The food is limited. So because of that, we are not following the exponential growth, but what is going to be more realistic and more practical is the sigmoid growth curve. What is the sigmoid growth curve? So the sigmoid growth curve is also known as logistic growth curve, which is S-shaped. Now remember, this is going to be important from your exam point of view, that is sigmoid growth curve. So the sigmoid growth curve is also known as the logistic growth curve, which is S-shaped. When a few organisms are introduced in an area, the population increase is very slow. So suppose when a new organism is being introduced into an area, in the beginning, the acceleration or the growth is going to be slow. The organism at once will not explode or not start to reproduce, because the organism, when it is coming over there, it has to adapt to that environment. So in the beginning it is very slow. That is the positive acceleration phase or the lag phase it is called as. In the middle, when the population or when the organism or the population has got adapted to the surrounding, now what will happen? It will start reproducing. So becomes very rapid, which is known as the logarithmic phase or the log phase. So after the lag phase comes the log phase, when the population will go on continuously increasing. And finally, in the last phase, what happens? The population increases slow down. Why? Because the resource become limited. The populations have reached to large number. So how much food is there? Only that much of the organisms can eat it. So because of that, the population increase is slowed down. You can take for example the population, human population only. I will give you example. In India, when there was going to be the earlier days, you can ask your grandparents how many children they were having. Ask your uncles and aunts how many siblings they are. They will tell you we are 4, we are 5. In some houses they may be 11 or 12. But today in India, what we are doing? Can any parent afford that many children? No. Today we are just hum do hamare do, what they say, the slogan of India. In China it is still the worst case. In China what is happening? In the China we can say that because of the population explosion and because of the rapid increase that has taken place, only one child is permitted. If there are going to be more than one children, they are not getting any government facilities. So in that manner, we are trying to control the population. That is, we have learnt now from the environment or from the other populations how we have to control the population based upon the resources that we are getting or the resources that are available. And finally, today the world population has reached to the last phase. That is, the population increase is slowed down. That is negative, called as negative acceleration phase. So this is going to be the level beyond which no major increase can occur, is referred to as saturation level or carrying capacity, which is denoted by K. Means this is the maximum level or the maximum capacity to which a population can grow. Then, in the last phase, what is happening? In the last phase, the new organisms are almost equal to the number of dying individuals, and thus there is no more increase in the population size. So I can summarize it as the natality becomes equal to the mortality. How many number of deaths are there? That many number of births will be there. So a population size will be maintained finally due to the limited resource. And that level is known as the saturation level or the carrying capacity. So this sigmoid curve is going to be the main which is going to be accepted into the environment or into the ecosystem. So the sigmoid curve that is there is represented, I'm sorry, this is not going to be J shaped, it has to be the S shaped. Please make that correction when you are writing the notes. So the S shaped sigmoid growth form is represented by the formula, that is dN by dt is equal to Rn k minus n divided by k, which can also be written as Rn into 1 minus n divided by k. Here dN by dt is the rate of change in the population size at time t. R is the biotic potential, that is intrinsic rate of natural increase. N is the population size, and here that is K that is there, that is the carrying capacity, that is K minus N divided by K is for the environmental resistance, that is how the environment is putting a control or over the population growth with its carrying capacity. And this is going to be how you are going to get a S-shaped growth curve. At starting, it is the lag phase, the population increases. Then comes the acceleration or the logarithmic phase when the population increases rapidly. And finally, when the population is going to be reaching a maximum limit where the number of population is equal to the available resource, then they are going to be called as the carrying capacity, after which the population is not going to be growing, and instead it is going to be entering into a phase of stability. So that is going to be called called as your sigmoid curve or the S-shaped curve. So what is this carrying capacity? Just have a look at it. So the carrying capacity of a biological species in an environment is the maximum population size of the species that the environment can sustain indefinitely, given the food, habitat, water and other necessities available in the environment. In the population ecology, the carrying capacity is defined as the environment's maximal load, how much the environment can allow the growth of its organism, is known as the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity was originally used to determine the number of animals that could graze on a segment of land without destroying it. Later, the idea has been expanded to more complex population. But here you only understand that carrying capacity is the maximum load the environment can take or allow the growth of the population. So that is your carrying capacity, and this is all going to be about your sigmoid growth curve, important from your exam point of view. So in the next video, we will start with the community. Now by now we have seen what is population. I am hoping you are having no doubts. If any doubts, you can ask me personally through your messages on my WhatsApp number. In the next video, I will be telling you about what is a community. So a group of populations are making a community. So what is that community ecology? Let us see that and the next video.